I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm the head coach for JobSearchCoachingHQ.com, NoBSCoachingAdvice.com, and I host all the shows on JobSearchTV. Now, I wanted to talk with you about dealing with rejection in your job search. And I've said many times that interviewing, looking for work, is very much like going on blind dates. You talk to people, you engage in conversation, your heart opens up, and at times you're going to get squashed. Unfortunately, the same thing is true in job search, whether that's your resume doesn't get a response from an employer, whether you're dealing with someone who, shall we say, the recruiter who doesn't submit your resume, whether you go on an interview and you think you've nailed it and nothing comes back, or you get the feedback too late. Whatever it is, it's very much like a dating situation where you've opened up, you really, really care, and now rejection. How do you deal with it? Now, the first thing is to remember that, like life in general, there's going to be rejection in the process. Not everyone likes you, right? And I'll simply say that if you're in a situation where, you suddenly get a rejection where you think you've done great, and suddenly you're getting the turn down, the first thing to remember is to do a quick mental review. Were there any signals that you received in the interview? Were there any signals from the recruiter to suggest that you didn't do well or that there was some deficiency? So with that mental scan, because that's really going to be your learning, starts off with that. Then from there, I would suggest reaching out to the organization. Could be a recruiter, which is the ideal situation. You contact the recruiter and say, hey, look, you've made the decision not to submit me. You've made the decision that I'm not right for this job. Any feedback that you can give me? I want to be clear, I'm not here to get into an argument with you. I want to learn how you evaluate. I want to learn what you looked at that made you say no. And then you listen casually. You don't get into arguments. You listen and you learn from that. Because what it tells me is that if you got turned down and you had the actual experience, maybe you didn't really make a strong case, that you didn't present your knowledge around that subject well, and that you really need to practice your interviewing, because if you legitimately had the expertise, then you could have sold it better. So I'm putting the onus back on you, again, to learn from this. Now, this may hurt to hear, but it's really part of your growth professionally, is to learn how others are receiving the information that you're sharing. Got it? Then from there, if you have to lick your wounds, go lick your wounds. And one of the things that you can do in doing that is reach out to people. Review situations where you have people who love and support you, who really care about you, and say, I'm hurting today. I got turned down for a job I really wanted to get. Matter of fact, they wouldn't even submit me. Or I got turned down for a job today. I interviewed with them 4 times, and they chose someone else. Help. And take in the support. Let them buy you lunch. Let them take you for coffee. Let them listen and give you some words of support. Next thing I'll suggest is put yourself in the situation of reviewing your successes, because you got to get out there again, and you got to do it fast. Being in the cave, being in your home or apartment, going, oh, woe is me, isn't going to help you get to the next role. You have to get out there as quickly as you can, having licked your wounds, having obtained support, having looked for stuff that will nurture you again, and then get out there and start networking some more, talking to more recruiters, reaching out to friends for suggestions of organizations that you ought to be in contact with, doing all the things that you've been doing up until this point successfully, while at the same time improving the way you present yourself, so that if you were in the situation where you got turned down despite having the experience, you're able to tell your story more effectively. So I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I hope you found this helpful. I'd love to coach you. And if you're interested in one-on-one coaching with me, connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. Then once we're connected, message me. We'll set up a time to speak about coaching. And that can take the form of my preparing you for interviews so you perform extremely well. It can take the form of critiquing your resume and LinkedIn profile, because maybe your resume was the stumbling block and you need someone to review it to give you a good baseline resume from which you can always tailor it for specific roles. If you get to the salary negotiation phase, I can help you with that part as well, so you don't walk in like a babe in the woods and get taken advantage of. So I hope you found this helpful. Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter for JobSearch TV. I hope you have a great day. Take care.